parents very anxious tonight.
That's right. Parents reported seeing a man lurking here around campus wearing a clown mask like this one right here. Now, some are worried about the danger this countrywide clown craze might cause.
I just wish they didn't choose like a kid's school, you know?
Kyra Rashid walks her dog near Bird Rock Elementary School every day, but now she feels freaked out. The school sent this letter home to parents. It says someone saw a person dressed like a clown staring at the field around 5:30 at night. A parent called the school and police to report it, and then at 7 spotted another clown on the other side of campus lurking around the classrooms. Some say it's part of a creepy clown hoax sweeping the country, clowns attacking people and threatening violence.
On social media, it hasn't, scared me that much just because, it's been in other places. But now knowing that it's a couple streets away from where I live is a little freaky.
Aya Cassidy says the clown sightings make her nervous for her kids.
That definitely gave me the chills. I don't like hearing that stuff. Not in San Diego, not in La Jolla, definitely not in our neighborhoods.
San Diego police say there is no serious threat to safety, and the school says they're following up on potential threats. But Kyra worries it will only get worse.
I think it's going to be dangerous, honestly. I think it's a little too much of a threat to everyone's safety. People might take it as too serious of a threat and, approach these clowns with weapons.
And the school says if anyone sees clowns lurking around the area doing anything illegal like trespassing or looking in windows, to call police.
first I thought he was telling us that. And I told him, I said, go in the house and, you know, we'll talk about this one again. And then the next day there was like 30 kids come up to me and said, Miss Donna, there's clowns in the woods, there's clowns in the woods. My child was with me, so I knew that they had to see something.
Hundreds of lives. He's never talked to anyone about the case until tonight. His murder spree was first discovered on a cold December day when the first of his victims were found in the crawl space beneath his home. They were taken out one by one as the world watched. For 13 years, Gacy refused to talk. But tonight, he's breaking that silence, walking out from death row in Menard State Prison to speak one-on-one with Channel 2's Walter Jacobson. Walter is here now to tell us what Gacy had to say in an exclusive interview. Walter.
Quite a bit. Bill, I spent 2.5 hours with John Gacy listening to a whole new story about his case. He was rambling and often inconsistent, but always, always very cagey. 13 years ago, he told the police how he murdered his victims. Now he's telling me he never did.
People don't want to know the truth and the honesty of it. If they want to be convinced or brainwashed into what they believe, then fine, then go ahead and kill me. But vengeance is mine, saith the Lord, because you will have executed somebody that didn't commit the crime.
Those are the words of John Wayne Gacy, pleading innocence from death row at Menard State Penitentiary 13 years after being convicted of his crimes. The most notorious serial killer of our time.
When they paint the image that I was this monster who picked up like these altar boys along the street and swatted them like flies, I said, this is ludicrous.
But the jury didn't find it ludicrous. After barely 2 hours deliberation, its verdict was murder by Gacy, 33 times, 29 bodies buried in that house of his on Summerdale, a crime of horrendous proportions. In the crawl space underneath, bodies covered with lime and encased in plastic, dug up a few days before Christmas and carried into the December cold, one after another after another. But despite all this evidence, he says he has proof he didn't do it. Here's one of dozens of examples of what he calls proof.
I've taken 3.5 hours of truth serum, and under sodium amytal, the maximum amount that I could have, it shows that I have no knowledge of the crime whatsoever. Never have had.
But this is where his attempt to change history, which is what he thinks will get him a new trial, begins to break down. There is no proof anywhere that he ever took truth serum. Now, it's not only a matter of physical evidence, it's a character issue as well. Many times during our interview, he tried to portray himself as a good guy, an ethical, hard-working family man. Here's how he describes himself as a father.
Loving and caring. I've always looked after my children, even now.
What kind of values do you remember imparting to them?
The kind of values?
Were you strict with them too?
No, not as strict as, no. A lot of things that my dad did, I refused to do, because I don't believe in hitting children. I don't believe in spoiling a child either. My values are such that if you give enough love to the children.
You're accused of murdering 30